Okay, so we mentioned the possibility of being able to drop the weight during the jMAVSim simulation, and I figured out how to do it. Here, you're going to see the whole path to the jMAVSim directory that we're using. I'll show it to you as well. Here in the firmware, no, this isn't it. Sorry. The one that I'm using is the SITL one, which is the one that you have. Okay, so in here you go to tools and you go to jMAVSim and you go all the way to SRC. And then you can access the 3D Visualizer Java text editor, yeah. And here you can search for a key event, BK space, or just search for space. This is what happens when you press the space keyboard during the simulation. And before that, the key space supposedly just resets the vehicle view. And since we really don't have any need for that, we just comment it out and then replace it with this command, which is set mass. Initially, the vehicle is going to have a mass of 1. So if you want to decrease the mass, you're going to have to decrease it to 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. And this is just a message to see that we are actually doing this. This is a very simple implementation, by the way.
So Juan, when you, I mean, here when you change the set mass, obviously we just changed the capital M with and everything else like the geometry. You know, I'm talking about the moment of inertia. Everything else will be the same. Just the capital M, the whole mass, is something that you are changing here.
Yes.
Awesome. Good.
That being said, we can also change a couple of other parameters. Here you can see that the vehicle view object, which would be our quadcopter in this case, extends dynamic object, which has a couple of other, how do I say this? A couple of other properties, for example, set moment of inertia and so on and so on. So with this technique, or at least with this method, you can press space, and in the middle of the flight, you can change the properties of the quadcopter, not only the mass, but also you may be able to change the moment of inertia if needed. We can discuss later what sort of changes we want to make, but for the moment being, this is what I have implemented. Okay, so let's run it. Have first. Then I'm moving to open Q and control. Going to connect current controlled. Yeah, let's do this with RCAC. I had previously disabled it. Let's enable it as more. Then let's check out that MAVLink is running. I mean, RCAC is running. Yeah, here you'll see switch 1, rate 1, pulse 1, pulse 1. All right. Yeah, now let's okay, let's add this. Right, okay.
And alpha is still 1, or the alpha parameter, it is still 1, or
Yes, the alpha parameter is still 1 for the moment being. We can change that afterwards, but let's
Yeah.
keep it as it for the moment being. Anyway, yeah, need to upload the plan. And then let's make it fly. Okay, by the way, if you press space bar, it has to be when you have the jMAVSim window active. I'm going to activate here. You see here is the message, and you might not have seen a big change. I'll show you the log, which is going to make this a bit more visible. But so far, it seems like it's the change in mass hasn't affected the flight too much.
So is it faster than before? Like regarding the timing?
Oh, this is the same.
Is the same?
Yeah, it's probably faster because now we are using the I mean in my Ubuntu machine, not in the virtual machine. Okay, let's close this. So now let's plot this. Yeah, this is the new plot. I've already told you that the new plots are in the firmware build Pixel SITL default logs. These are the log for today. This is the new log. I'm going to copy it here because it's much more convenient. And then I'm going to open flight plot. Here it is. Now we're going to plot the C. And so now you can see how the moment when the let's say the weight is dropped. It was at the 22nd. You can see how well initially it goes up. It eventually manages to recover. And then this is the altitude drop that occurs when landing is activated. So yeah, that's what you need to know about changing the properties of the jMAVSim simulator.
Yeah.
And yes,
I'm sorry.
I think that's all for the demonstration for the jMAVSim simulator. Should I stop the recording right now, or should I how do I say this? Record any questions that you may have.
Oh yeah, just let's have the questions, and then after questions we can you can stop that. The question I have is I mean, first of all, I mean, let's forget the ascending and descending thing. So it's basically that one is, but that the middle of the plot basically is important. I mean, just when you drop because of the mass change, obviously. Now has more lifting force and it goes up and then goes back to the same thing. So you said 20 seconds. I mean, is there any way instead of the timing, just let's say that at point 20 seconds after the flight, is there any way we can focus on a location, like a waypoint, something, and say that this is the drop point?
Oh yes, I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't use any timing device to time this. I just went into the jMAVSim window and I pressed end and I pressed the spacebar. So when I press the spacebar is when the weight is dropped.
Okay.
So it's not a matter of time, it's a matter of when I press the spacebar. So I can drop the weight whenever I so choose. It can be in the middle of the flight, it can be at the beginning, it can be at the end.
Okay. So you just, the way basically you said anywhere, I mean, during the flight, just by clicking the space bar.
Yes, this is
Oh,
what
wow.
what this
Okay.
case
Yeah, yeah.
does. So
Okay,
yeah, this captures
great.
the space event, and that means that as soon as I press spacebar, the mass is going to be set to 0.4 instead of 1, which is the original weight.
Awesome. And then
If you go back in the video, you're going to see that in the in the windows there appears a message that says decreasing vehicle mass, which means that this has been activated, and now you're flying with decreased mass.
awesome. This is
And that happens only when I press the spacebar.
okay. So I mean, it was too fast. I didn't focus on that. So during the flight, somewhere you press the space bar, and basically this line got activated. Okay.
Yeah, basically, it should be around line 1207 of the Visual Basic 3 Java, which is inside this directory, inside the firmware directory. That is tools, jMAVSim, source, and go all the way to jMAVSim, and then you will have the Visual Basic 3 Java. You search for
Awesome.
the key event BK space, and you can comment the previous one, and then you can change it for this. This is
Great.
the easiest way of changing the mass whatever point we so desire. And I've also mentioned that aside from set mass, we can also use any of the functions that are available in the dynamic object of Java, which not only includes set mass, but also includes set moment of inertia.
No, that one is great. Like, by the way, it's just pressing the space bar is like the pushing the red button for the pilot. When they drop a bomb. So
You can say that's a way of putting it. Yes.
yeah, but yeah, that will now this will start a new study. That's interesting. That's exactly what I was looking for. How we can study kind of the flight tests when we are dealing with the mass change, and this is great. I mean, this is the easiest way. Obviously, just we have everything here, and yeah, let's see. This is interesting. I'll try to see what we can do with that.
Yes, and by the way, you don't need to update your repository. You can basically just go inside the code that you have right now and make the change that I have shown you. That's it. Then you run the jMAVSim source file that we gave you, and it's going to be implemented right then.
Yeah. So this one was with what is that? This one was with the alpha 1 and RCAC on. Obviously, basically, there's no effect on we didn't use RCAC, obviously.
No, we use RCAC. Alpha 1, remember that is only applicable on the PIDs. That means that the base PIDs are untouched.
Okay.
If alpha is equal to 0.5, the base PIDs are halved.
Okay.
And for this test, we just use the base values for the PID gains.
Yeah, and then RCAC. I mean, obviously, you guys use. I mean, alpha is 1. You use the base gains for the whatever we have for the PX4, and then you say that basically the RCAC is handling the mass change here.
Yes, RCAC with PID.
Good. Okay. So and then we can compare without RCAC. Basically, this one was with RCAC, and obviously we can compare without RCAC and see how the mass change will differ here.
Yes, we can
Okay.
do that. Although the issue there would be that maybe both PID and RCAC are going to be similar depending on how we change the mass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is something that we have to see, that I mean, how much mass change can deviate RCAC from, I don't know, just comparing them and see you know, how they.
If we know, if we see no significant changes, then another approach could be to how do they say this, implement different physics for the multicopter, or perhaps change the moment of inertia, or make some other changes to the whole formula.
Yeah. The thing is, you know, we're looking for degradation, obviously, you know, just to see the mass drop has a huge impact on the, you know, the vehicle. And I mean, the whole idea is just showing them the adaptive, you know, autopilot. RCAC is helpful, you know, that's the whole point that people are looking like for this study. Yeah.
Yes. We're going to see much more of this in the test that we're going to perform tomorrow and Monday, by the way, on hardware. But for the moment being, in simulation wise, we can keep performing this test for a while. If we don't see any difference, we can then propose some other changes. For example, perhaps we can make the dynamics in this simulation a bit more realistic, or, and this is something that Angin has been looking into. Perhaps we could use Gazebo instead of jMAVSim. And considering that the environments are pretty similar, we could make a similar change in order to decrease the weight or change the properties of the quadcopter mid-flight. That being said, are you okay if we proceed like this, as in make it so that the space button is the one that activates the change in dynamics?
I mean, for now it's good, but the thing is, you know, eventually if we can make it like a preset, let's say before flight, you know, I mean, or I mean, previously I said that, you know, let's say we can give the number of the waypoint or something, you know, just something without any interacting interference, like.
Okay, I understand. So basically, that we tell it to drop the package once it's close to a point.
Yeah, something like that. You know, that's basically we before flight we know the mission, we set, and automatically it is performing whatever we want. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. But also, it would also be helpful to not know exactly when it's going to drop, which.
Yeah, that's another thing that we can.
So basically, the space button gives the test some sort of uncertainty regarding the place where it's going to drop.
Yeah.
Again, we can discuss this further, but for the moment being, you can make the change that I have shown you, and that should allow you to drop the mass whenever you should choose.
Good. Okay, I think this will make the video longer. You know, you can stop recording and then
sure.
we can continue. Yeah. Thanks.